You're watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Here's your host, Don Ansell.
Bob Odom, the general manager for Titan Cement subsidiary Carolina Cement, is talking very candidly with us one-on-one. Again, we thank you for coming in, Bob.
Again, I'm happy to be here.
If Titan decided to forego the public money incentives, then it would not be bound by SEPA guidelines. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
Is that an option?
It's an option, but have not done anything about that. It is an option.
It's an option that's open.
It is still open. We have not closed it, but we have not decided to do that also. Right now, we're falling under SEPA, part of the judge's ruling.
But why not forego the public money, and you can move forward with the with your plans without SEPA guidelines? We
could do that, but then let's be quite honest about this. If we did it, where would that get us? People would think we're trying to avoid something, and we're not. That's the big deal here. NEPA, SEPA, they both cover the exact same things. It's just a timing issue. That's all this is. Push us back. Maybe Titan will go away, but we're not.
You're not going away.
No, we're not going away.
Another issue that has been raised by folks that oppose the project are jobs. And they say that Titan is misleading about jobs because only a small number of the jobs would be at the higher levels, while the rest would be lower on the pay scale, and that Titan averages the numbers, which is misleading.
Well, it is an average. That's a fact. And that includes wage and benefits also. But that is an average number, and that's the way we present it. Yeah, but there will be well-paying jobs. You know, unemployment's high here. Not everybody can work behind a computer or at PPD. You need people that actually work with their hands, and we're going to give these people an opportunity to get ahead.
We talked about mercury and your assertion, and the opposition's assertion that the mercury that will be emitted is dangerous. A large number of pediatricians in the area have come out against the proposed plant. How do you respond to that?
I like to think they're all well-meaning, and I also hope they have all the facts. We had a company out of Seattle, Intertox, run a test for us on the mercury, knowing it was a big deal. The plant has a potential to emit of 263 pounds of mercury. That sounds like a lot. But he ran a test that showed, based on that, it comes out to something, the effect of that would be like the amount of mercury in 1 3/4 teaspoons of canned light tuna a month. Okay, that's current potential to emit. We would never do that because the plant has to run 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You don't do that because you have to pull the plant down for maintenance. Okay, the new rules are maybe going to be 40. Those are new rules coming out. We will abide by those new rules. Now, if we were 1 3/4 teaspoon of canned light tuna at 263, what's 40 pounds? It's almost not there. So it's all in the dose. Our survey, our testing showed the dose is well within reason. We're not going to hurt you.
This was a consulting firm that Titan paid for this analysis.
That's correct. And it was also, he also had 4 peer reviewers look at it. So after he did his work, he sent out to 4 people, I think in North Carolina here. One was a state toxicologist, and said, we agree with what you've done.
You've mentioned the new air quality standards that are being proposed by EPA and will eventually be adopted. There are still questions about whether Titan would be able to comply with these standards because Titan has identified equipment that is available to bring the operation, or has not identified the equipment that is will be able to bring the operation into acceptable emissions according to the new standards.
Well,
have you identified that equipment, and is it public?
We're still looking at the equipment, which one we're going to use. It would make no sense to identify one right now and be locked into that and we find something better. Some of this is tested in labs. I mean, this is going to be big changes to meet these requirements, but we're prepared to spend the money, go through the exercise, find the best equipment to meet all these requirements. We're not going to bet $450 million on a maybe. We're not going to build a plant and say, Well, all of a sudden we can't meet the requirements.
And this is something, again, that the opposition has repeatedly put forward, so I want to give you an opportunity to answer it. They say once an operation like Titan is up and running, environmental violations often occur, and the fines levied are just considered part of the cost of doing business, and that operations are rarely shut down by regulators for violations. How do you answer that?
I guess there'll be some industries like that, but we don't view it like that. I mean, if we have a problem, we fix it right away. You know, I can't foresee us doing...
Titan plants have had violations, right?
Minor, like we've one out in Roanoke, it was 15 degrees and had dust on the road. We decided not to put water down. So are you going to cause ice, or are you going to have a little bit of dust on the road? A little bit of bookkeeping things. But are we going to run that plant in violation, out of spec? No, we won't.
It's a kiln.
It's a kiln.
It burns.
It burns.
What's the fuel?
It burns coal.
It's coal.
We have looked at natural gas. What we're doing, we're melting rock.
Right.
In this process. You can't get the heat out of natural gas, so we burn coal.
Are you licensed to only burn coal?
That's what our permit shows.
So you would be in violation to burn anything else?
That's correct. We would have to get a new permit. You know, so Titan America is always looking at alternative sources of fuel, but the Castle Hayne project is set with coal.
We're in the middle of this terrible crisis in the Gulf. What kind of impact do you think that's had on the opinion here about the environmental dangers of building a plant like Titan?
I cannot equate the two. The environmental problems in the Gulf is awful. I cannot mention anything catastrophic like that could happen in my cement plant that could equate.
But do you think people are more highly sensitive about the environment now because of what's happening in the Gulf?
Well, I think everybody's sensitive. Titan America is an environmental company also. We are aware of the environment. We live here. Our employees work at the plants. So, yeah, we are aware of it. We're going to follow all the rules. Am I concerned about us hurting the quality of life in Wilmington? No, I'm not.
How important is public opinion in all of this?
It is important. You know, we got, I think, a small vocal minority. They've done a good job making a lot of noise. We have people that support us a lot. Unfortunately, they don't come out and say a whole lot. But I get out and see a lot of people, and you talk to them about, we're going to meet the rules. There was a plant there. We're going to bring jobs. We're going to meet all the specifications. Okay, I get it.
Who gets the final word on whether Titan is given the permits to build and operate this plant?
It'll be the state.
The state?
Well, DNR has to give their permit. The Corps of Engineers, and then basically it's up to the governor.
It's up to the governor.
Yeah.
Bob Odom, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Bob Odom, General Manager of Titan Cement subsidiary Carolina Cement, our guest here on Byline Wilmington. Have a great week. Next week, Michael Kraus, who is CEO of the Wilmington Housing Authority. They've been generating a lot of controversy. He'll address it one-on-one with us on the next Byline Wilmington. I'm Don Ansell.
You've been watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Join us every Sunday morning as we explore the issues that concern you.